we have to strike a balance between preservation and development. Our old buildings, structures and sites are part of our built heritage. They help preserve memories and contribute to the unique character of our living environment. So NHB will work closely with HDB, URA and other agencies to consider heritage elements in our development planning process. We want to make Singapore a modern city with deep roots. We will also expand our heritage-related activities and projects to strengthen our Singaporean identity and way of life. And I agree with Mr. Alex Yam that we should celebrate the masters of our vanishing trades. This is why NHB has been working hard to document and highlight the things that we all cherish as part of our heritage, like our traditional bakeries, or this picture here which shows, the next one, a street barber at Aliwal Street. To give Singaporeans a greater sense of ownership over our heritage, MCCY and NHB will develop more community-based museums, heritage galleries and trails in neighborhoods all over Singapore. So far, we have 10 heritage trails, from heritage trails marking historical sites of national importance in the Civic District and along the Singapore River, to sites that showcase our community memories in neighborhoods like Balestier, Queenstown and Yishun, Sembawang. And you can see the map of the completed heritage trails. This year, NHB will launch 3 more heritage trails in Toa Payoh, Tampines and Tiong Bahru, and there will be more to come after that. Our longer-term plan is to develop an island-wide network of community museums, galleries and heritage trails. So that's our first strategy around heritage and the past. Second, we will also enhance our national museums and make them more accessible. Even as we develop our heritage at the community level, I agree with Mr. Sito Ipin and other members that we cannot neglect our national museums, because they are the key repositories of our nation's memories and history. Through our museums, we celebrate the story of Singapore and Singaporeans and provide a link to history for us and our children. Through our museums, we also see Singapore's development in relation to other civilizations and broader world events. We want to enhance this content in our national museums so that they can better tell the Singapore story in a way that resonates with Singaporeans. So over the next 5 years, we will invest $62 million to help our museums build up their collections and conserve these collections with new techniques. We will increase access to our collection through our museums and also online so that our artifacts and artworks can be enjoyed by both present generation and kept safe for future generations. Some have suggested year-round free entry to our museums. Mr. Baey Yam Keng raised this idea in 2011. And Ms. Janice Koh also asked this in the PQ last year. I have discussed this with our museum team. Over the years, we have progressively expanded the scope of free admissions. For example, we now have free entry in the month of August. But we've stopped short of doing it year-round. And the key consideration was to ensure sustainability over the long term. This remains a concern. And so from time to time, when we bring in special exhibitions with external partners, there will be entry charges to help cover the costs. In fact, this is done in museums all over the world. But aside from these periodic special shows, I'm convinced that there are significant merits to opening up our museums for all Singaporeans to enjoy. So after careful consideration, I have decided to make entry to our national museums and heritage institutions free for Singaporeans and permanent residents all year round. We will start from 18th of May with the launch of this year's Children's Season in the museum. I think it's a fitting day to start free museum entry because 18 May also happens to be International Museum Day.